James was ramming his wife Jessica, who James described to me as looking like a cross between Natalie Portman and Selena Gomez. James had laid down the foundation on her ass. Right as James climaxed, he shouted to the universe, "Winner, winner, chicken sheen dinner!" James had finished his great ramming and was ready to check up on Earth's progress. James quickly flew off into space towards planet Earth, aka James. James looked at Earth. It was a bunch of animals running around, nothing interesting, somewhat boring, James thought at least. James thought for a moment on how to spice up this moment, and he thought of it. James created the dinosaurs. James's favorite dinosaur was the Deinosuchus. James fucking loved alligators, and James loved the Deinosuchus. James thought I should explain what it is. It is at least 40-foot alligator from the prehistoric ages, a beautiful beast. James loved watching the dinosaurs fight and create tons of carnage. It was so much fun to James. Sometimes James would fly down to Earth and face a couple of T-Rexes versus himself. Of course, James would always succeeded. He was James. Art thou James, he who have flown and soared through air and defeated magnificent beasts? The day was growing long, and James just sat silently and enjoyed the carnage the dinosaurs were creating. Suddenly, Lord David of the 4th Squad appears behind James. James turns around and looks at David. James's jaw drops a little. Lord David had his shirt off. His body was like one of those Greek god statues. Lord David had long, flowing brown hair. He was holding a golden spear, and both his nipples were pierced. James couldn't contain himself. His penis was about to pop right then and there, and it did. James popped. He popped hard, right on Lord David's brown, fantastic shoes. Lord David looked up at James. He was disgusted. "James, you popped on my new shoes," Lord David spoke in a loud, bellowing voice. "Yeah, sorry man, James is enjoying what he's seeing." "Right. I mean, James, I understand I am fucking beautiful, and I won't lie, you make me quite horny as well, but this can't be, James. We can't do it, and you know why." "It's so fucking difficult living like this, Lord David. Please come back to planet James. We will get you an ice cream, champ." "James, I just fucking said why we can't make sweet love. My heart is entwined to another. There would be repercussions if I abandon him now. I'm a faithful man, and I can't do it to him. Sorry, James, I really am." "What? Who are you with?" "I'll vanquish him from the plane, and then we will make sweet love on my Persian skin rug." "James. His name is God, or sometimes he calls himself Jesus Christ. Actually, sometimes he calls himself the Holy Spirit too. I have no idea what he is always called, but James, just leave him alone. I'm with him and he is with me." "I can't just leave him alone now you told me who he is, Lord David. I'm going for him right now. You wait here and I'll take care of him, and that will be the end of it." James quickly thought of where he would be in this universe, and James figured it out immediately. James flew off into the direction of this God. James arrived and saw God. He was standing there wearing a blue robe which barely covered his balls. You could still see them a little bit. He had long teal hair with a huge scraggly beard. He was extremely handsome. James was in love again. This God was handsome as all hell. It was like kind of if you saw a handsome seal and you quietly whispered to yourself, "That is one sexy seal." James walked up to God and put his hand out for a good, firm handshake. God met his hand and said, "It's a pleasure to meet you, James. I see you in my dreams at night and I love you. I met Lord David just to make you jealous so I can meet you and maybe we could, instead of just fuck, make love." James smiled a grin that was a cross between a hyena and a sloth. "Come back to planet James with me. This will be very fun." God and James flew off back to planet James for lovemaking. Lord David was a mile behind and he saw them take off together holding hands. Lord David's face turned to a frown and tears released from his face. Lord David flew off while crying rainbows of tears. James and God had finished their lovemaking session and God turns to James and says, "You were by far the best lover I ever had, James." James quickly replies with, "Shut up, baby.